Hello dear students and welcome back. In today's video we'll learn about variables and a little bit about functions and a little bit about arithmetic operations. So let's get started with variables here. Now variables are basically a way for storing data, right? So they are intended to store data. And the way we create a variable, first we need a variable name. So variable name can be anything. So basically you can name it, for example, on this name I will name it var, sorry, which is a shorthand for variable. Can be anything. I can name it I can name it gs, whatever you want, right? So then you need the equal sign, right? And then the value, right? And the value can be also anything. It can be number, for example. It can be a string, and string is basically a text. And notice how text we put two double quotes at the beginning and the end of the string, right? So this is very important. We can do this if we want to store text. Also, we have other data types. So this is what we call data type. It's a number, a data type, it's string, and so on. Now, here in this video, I will be throwing to you so many glossaries. Some of them will not make sense for you. That's totally fine. We're just here starting to learn about Lua. So in this video, just focus on variables so far, how to create them. So we need a variable name, then equal sign, then the value. So the equal sign here means that assign this value to this variable here. So put it inside this variable. Now next, in the previous video we learned about the print statement. We used it. We did not learn about it, but we used it to print some values, right? So next, what I want to do, instead of typing here print 78, I can just say print gs, and then I can go to terminal, run build task, and you can see it's Control Shift B. So I will use that Control Shift B to run this code, and now you can see I have 78. All right, so that's very easy. We can make it even string, right? So we can name this my name. So we can do this and then save it, Control Shift B, and now I get my name here, right? It's very, very awesome. Now, the beautiful thing about variables, you can think of them like when you learned or started to learn in math equations, like x plus 3 equals 5, and the teacher would ask you to solve for x or find the value of x. So x here is a variable. So x in this case will be some value. You'll solve for that. That's why we need variables. Variables make our life easier when coding, when doing some advanced stuff with code, all right? Because we need a way to store this data and then do some action on this data, manipulate them, maybe do multiplication, addition, or maybe do some write them to a file or read from a file and store them inside a variable. So we can do many things to this, maybe do some autocorrection, anything you can think of. You can like anything you can think of that can be done to a data, you can do it to the variable itself. Makes life easier and makes it reusable. All right, so let's make this now a number, 7 maybe. And now what I want to do is print this variable times 2. Now here we are learning about operation, arithmetic operation. So if we run this code, Control Shift B, we get 14 because JS is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. We can also make division. So we divide 7 by 2. We should get 3.5. Here it is. Right, so we can also do addition. All right, save it, Control Shift B, and we get 9. And we can also do subtraction. right? So save it, run it, and we get 5. All right. Now you notice that I have created variable with different types of data. So number, created a string, and there are many others. I will not go into them right now. Let's take it step by step here. So what if I want to know at some point what type of data this variable is holding? So for that, we have a function called type. Now, I know we have not yet learned about function. We will do, don't worry about that. But this will tell us what kind of data, what is the type of the data that is being held inside this variable. So if I run this, Ctrl+Shift+B, I get a number. If I change this to some text, then run this, I get a string, as you can see. Now this is the beauty of Lua. In other programming languages, the programming language will force you to set a data type for the variable before using it. In Lua, you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about that. All right. So just create a variable and throw any data type you wish into it. It will work perfectly fine. Actually, what we can do here is first creating this variable here, right? And assigning a string to it. Then I change my mind. I say, okay, I want this variable, this same exact variable, to hold a number value, and the value is 5. So if I run this, now I should get number. So completely fine. In other programming languages, you cannot do this at all. So this is basically a quick introduction into variables, functions, not functions, some built-in functions. These functions, we can write our own function. We will learn about that in the future. Don't worry about that. But the main point here in this video is to learn about variables, how to create them, and how to do some basic mathematical operation.